Information Man time. All right, everybody. It's time for the Information Man show to always tell the truth. What's up, everybody? Let's get into this right now. I have to say a lot here on this particular video. Look, religion has been a big part of black people in America and across the world. Black people, should I say, we are some of the most religiously oriented people in the world. We believe in the Bible. Some of us have grown up in the church, had grandmothers in the church, fathers, grandfathers, fathers. Even if we didn't want to go to Sunday school or even go to church on Sunday, church Christianity has been a big part of the black community. Even if we know that during slavery, the Bible was used as a way to sort of socialize black people coming out of slavery. This is just the truth. And as a result, we have had preachers who have been sort of seen as the leaders of the black community, right? Those that lead us. You had Dr. King, you had many black preachers in the black community. But now things have changed today, because a lot of these black preachers are behaving like shalligans. They're behaving like grifters. They are emotionally draining those of us in our community, those black people who go to church, who have these preachers who preach this prosperity gospel, or these preachers that are looking for vanity projects such as mega churches, or for you to donate money to them through tithing or even more to build them a super mega style church like you see right there. And as a result of that, black people have been very loyal religiously to the church. But what we've got going on today, everybody, and this cannot be denied, is that we've got, once again, a lot of pimps. That's right. We have pimps in the pulpit, okay, that are doing everything they can to take money from black people. We've got these jack-a-leg preachers like Marvin Winans. Right here you see Marvin Winans. He is a preacher out of Detroit, Michigan. And you know Detroit's a black city, so you got a lot of churches. You probably got churches on every other block out there. And Marvin, Pastor Marvin, or Bishop Marvin, should I say, has gotten himself in trouble a little bit. This went viral. There's a video out there. Detroit Bishop Marvin Winans under fire for scrutinizing a church member over $1,200 donation. Actually, it was $1,235, basically $1,200.35. He got very nasty with her in front of the congregation, which I thought was very embarrassing for him to do that, because this man is trying to raise $2,000. He wants every person in the church to give him $2,000. She was able to scrape up or get the money that she could give him, had her son there. I think she's a single mother. And in the middle of giving him this money and saying, hey, we got $1,000 and now we got another $235 for you, he sat up there as she was explaining to him the money that she had for him, how she didn't follow the assignment, that's not what he asked her for. He wanted $2,000 off the top from this woman. A damn shame. Now, we're living in inflationary times, everybody. We've got people living paycheck to paycheck. You've got black women, indeed, who have taken a hit because of the Donald Trump administration. You've got black women that have lost federal jobs at the thousands. You've got people living hand to mouth, foot to mouth. And we know that through history, a lot of these black preachers like Bishop Marvin Winans, we know that they looking good. Look at him. He got a nice suit on there. They're looking good. They're driving good. They're living good. And in some cases, they're looking good, dressing good, and looking better than the people in their church. And this man, I got to keep it real with y'all. This man sat up there and scolded this woman right there, as you can see right there, with her son. And I'm going to play the audio in visual to this in a bigger picture for you. But she's sitting up there. There he is scolding her, telling her, look at him, that she didn't follow the assignment, which was to give him $2,000. And I found out some nasty things about Marvin Winans. I'm going to play another clip for you today by a brother. I guess he's a pastor himself, explaining that this man has been running this game. This man has wasted and squandered money that black people have given him. He's focused on himself, making it look like it's for God. And that my question again is, this is my question, everybody. You know, money and these monuments are things that make humans feel good. God doesn't need money. God doesn't need monuments. God doesn't need buildings. If I'm not mistaken, even in the Bible, it says that you're not to come to God through worship of items or things or possessions. And so this is all about Bishop Marvin and how he wants to make himself feel. He wants to be up there in the upper echelon like the TJ Jakes. You know, he wants TD Jakes of the world. He wants to have the big, giant mega churches. And this mega church thing has run its course, everybody. It's not popular anymore, right? Now, I've been doing Umar Johnson videos, and these black pastors are no different than Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson takes from the black community. He says, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, give a donation over and over again, because we're going to build a school. There is no school, but he gets money in his pocket while carrying on a con game, right? Well, Pastor Marvin Winans is no different, y'all. You're going to find out with the clips that I have today. This brother's going to break down some things about the shadiness of this man and what's going on in Detroit, Michigan, when it comes to the ministry and how he has done things with money incorrect. Okay. And this is why when you have black men who are walking around and dressing themselves up as if they're preachers when they're nothing but sheep or wolves in sheep clothing, they're supposed to lead their flock. And last time I checked, when Jesus was on the earth, according to the Bible, he was out there with the sick. He was out there with the pimps, the downtrodden, the prostitutes. He was out there helping people. He wasn't inside some fancy temple or hanging out with rich people. But all these black pastors today, I think they have lost their calling. They have lost what it is to really be a man of God. And their whole God is materialistic things. How big can they build their religious palace? And from what I'm hearing down in Detroit, that he doesn't really pull that large of a crowd for the type of church that he wants to build. You'll be hearing about that today. Let me go ahead and let you see this clip that has gone viral. Okay, let me know what you think about this clip. Is it appropriate what Marvin Winans said to this woman? Let's play it right now, the full clip, everybody.
With the vision of perfecting church, of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Did you see the attitude? Wait a minute. Did you all see the attitude that Marvin Winans showed there? This is not what I asked you. The woman gave you $1,200, $235. Maybe that's all she had at the time, Marvin, but did you really have to try to embarrass her in front of the congregation like that? I thought that was sick of you. I thought that was arrogant of you. I thought that was that behavior to me was below character, and you're supposed to be a man of the cloth. You're supposed to be understanding that maybe this woman didn't have all the money that you preferred her to have, but maybe you could have had that conversation with her, Marvin, behind the scenes. Why couldn't you have waited after the service was over to have maybe a private conversation with her if it was really that serious? You really embarrassed the woman, and come to find out, everybody, he ended up giving her apology because this video that you see right here went viral.
Plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
See, this is the damn shame. That isn't what he asked her to do, but maybe that's all she could come up with at the time. So you could see that this preacher was arrogant, did not have any empathy or sympathy for the fact he couldn't even at least said, you know what's weird? He didn't even at least say to this woman, thank you for giving me what you could give me at this time. Even though he told everybody in the congregation to give him 2,000 racks, maybe that's all she could afford or get at that time. He didn't even say to her, this is the shame of it, everybody. He couldn't have even said to this woman, thank you for giving me what you could give me or what you could afford. He don't know what her personal situation is, because certainly if he did, if he was a man of character, he would have never called her out in the middle of the church like that in front of the whole congregation, embarrassing this woman in the way he did in Detroit, Michigan. This man wearing his fine, look at that, wearing his fine Vines, got a good suit on and everything, talks to this woman like she's a simpleton. This is really embarrassing. This is where the black church, and unfortunately, not all black churches, but a good number of them have gone down this hill in America. In American society, this is how far it's really going down. It's really gone downhill when it comes to the black church. And then they wonder, ladies and gentlemen, why you don't see a lot of black men in these churches anymore, that you don't see us going to church on Sunday like maybe we did in the past, maybe like our fathers did in the past or our uncles. You don't really see us doing that because we see the hustle. We see the hustle through and through that these jack-o'-leg preachers are running down. This is a single black woman, what her son, who gave what she could give, and Marvin sat up there and the bishop tried to sit up there and embarrass her like he did around in front of the congregation in a way that I thought was despicable, a lack of character. And this man calls himself a clergyman. Look at this right here. The one thing that Marvin failed to recognize is that she has a son. Do you know how embarrassing that is for him to talk to this woman like that in front of her own son? And look at him chastising her as he did. I just don't understand why he had to go there
Blessings to come to all that
like this.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
You see the nonsense here? You see the nonsense that goes on in some of these churches? Now, what I'm showing you right here is a freeze frame picture of Mrs. McCoy is her name. That is her son right there. And I thought it was despicable, personally, for him to berate her as he did. I just got to keep it real. I just thought it was despicable for him to berate her in the way that he did in front of her child. I thought that that was a lack of character as a man. Okay. I just thought that was a lack of character as a man, that she's there with her son, and the son had to listen to how the preacher talked to his mother. What if this child, this young man, her son, he's going to remember this. Children remember a lot of things that happen. This experience, even though people are kind of laughing in the crowd, like he made a little joke towards her, what if this has some scarring to the son? What if the son walked away sort of like, I didn't like the way he talked to my mother? And so he didn't even think enough of this black woman to think about how it might have had an effect on the son, sitting there listening to him berate her over not giving him what he claimed he told her to give. And here she is again. And see, black women have always been a big backbone of the black church. You got more black women in the church than you have black men in the church, because I got to be honest, we have kind of figured out the hustle. Black men have figured out the pimp preacher hustle that we have in this society today. We have figured it out. And at some point, this is why Umar Johnson, for the most part, has a lot of black women that follow him, because unfortunately there are women that gravitate towards these men who are charismatic, whether it be someone like a Umar Johnson or a preacher, you see, like Marvin. And our community, particularly our women, are captivated by these type of men, but these type of men lead them in the wrong direction and also abuse them emotionally and physically. And then unfortunately, some of our women, particularly in the black church, will continue to give money to these abusive preachers, you see, like Marvin Winans, you see. Let me go on to speak further on this issue, because the sister right here, I'm going to put her up, has made some statements. I'm going to put the statements up right here. Check this out. Miss McCoy held herself responsible for the mix-up after the video went viral. So she held herself responsible, but did not look at what the preacher said to her is disrespectful in the end. Miss McCoy says that Winans personally apologized to her after service, and she will continue to give to her church as she has done since 2013. I totally get it that she is devoted to supporting her church and supporting her, in this case, her pastor, Marvin Winans. But this is how our community is taken by charlatans like these pimp in the pulpit preachers, like the Marvin Winans of the world, that we have black women that are still loyal to the church and will be loyal to the preacher, who will still take advantage of them and disrespect them in public. That this is just a reality, that this man literally disrespected her in a church setting. This is a man that every Sunday is preaching love for people. He's preaching Jesus Christ, love for God, forgiveness. He couldn't forgive her in that moment for not having the $2,000 that he claimed, that he said, I told you what I wanted. In that moment, he didn't use the discernment of being a spiritual man by saying, now let me not berate this woman in front of the church. Let me be a godly man. Let me be a man who preaches the Bible. And let me be forgiving, not to come at her like this, because maybe this woman couldn't give me all the money that I wanted because maybe she had to make a bill. Maybe she had to pay a mortgage or rent, get food for her son. Maybe, just maybe, she had that importance to feed the child and not this selfish preacher before us. Maybe, just maybe, that was what her priorities were, but at the same time, to still give money to the church. But as you heard me say, she still wants to give money to the church, and this man gave her an apology. And I wonder, did he only give her an apology because he knew that this was going to go viral? It was going to hit the internet. You know, people were there with had their cell phones out. He knew it. And he still came at her in this way that I just thought was so awful, so horrible.
To come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
I got to
Yes.
play it again.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
She said she was going to work on the other 800. What does that mean? That means that she's going to give him another 800 to make up for not having 1,000 plus 1,000 as he demanded. So the woman, even the sister, even said that she would work. Mrs. McCoy would work on getting him the extra 800 that would put it to 2,000. That she would work on that. He couldn't say to her, "Thank you, sister. I appreciate you if you can do that. I know that maybe you didn't have all the money, but God bless you. Everybody in the church give this woman a clap," right? He could have even said that to her after the sermon, and he never shouted her out like this. This is what you call jack-a-leg preacher. Jack-a-leg preacher. You understand what I'm saying, everybody? This is the Information Man Show. Let me now play for you someone who knows Bishop Marvin very well, and he's going to break down some of the dirty, gritty details of this man, because this man has a past. This man has handled money poorly in the community. This man is a shyster. Here we go.
To build God a house. It is their privilege and responsibility to build God a house. Let's check that against scripture and see if he allow or if the Bible's allow. First.
So basically he's saying that Marvin is using biblical scripture to define that it is the responsibility of the church to build him a new house. In this case, a new church. He's looking at the scripture. For those of you, whether you're religious or not, the brother's going to make some good points here. So definitely listen to what he says. So he's going to check it against scripture. And guess what? Check this out, everybody. Check out what you're about to hear.
Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16 and 17. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man devour the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple are ye? All right. So right there, we see another lie. First, you're going to take the scripture about Jesus Christ coming into the flesh and apply it to some voices in your head. Then you say, God told you to build him a house. But we are his temple, Marvin. We are his temple. All right. So that's the next thing. Then when you said you was going to do it, the deal failed. Then you talk about you had a miracle. You end up acquiring a conduit of land that's connecting some parts. So somebody said they'll give you $34 million to do your project. Y'all need to remember that, because he was told not to do it. And then he said after they said they had given the loan, the 2008 crisis hit, he couldn't do it. Then there was 2 years of nothing going on at all. Oh, but then another miracle. Roe Messner, we're going to get into that.
This brother's basically breaking down the history of Marvin Winans in the community of Detroit, Michigan, and how he has been poor with managing money that black people have given him for the church. Doesn't it sound like another guy we know, Umar Johnson? Continue.
We believe that's the same dude that married Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye, and he was a crook too. Marvin Winans liked getting in bed with crooks. But anyway, 2 years of nothing. Woo. And said, give me $125,000. I'll loan you $500 $100,000, putting the church in more debt, still went up. Then talking about we need $17 million. Went to go get that, more debt for a project for a 4,000 something seat building that you can't fill because your congregation will tell you how big to build.
You see what I'm saying? So he's talking about right now the money that he was sort of harassing the sister McCoy about. Give me another 1,000. The brother here is saying that he doesn't even attract that many numbers of people to be able to sustain this church that he wants to build, because this is nothing but a vanity project for Marvin Winans. You see.
And you have not drawn that many souls in Detroit. Then 22,
Detroit,
you
Michigan,
said that you
y'all.
wanted to find more funding because you wanted to get the project done. And then you said the devil came against you. The city sued y'all frivolously because y'all was taking y'all time to get things together. Y'all was on the way.
Doesn't this sound just like Umar Johnson, who blames everybody for him not being able to build the school, blames the city for demanding that he pays unpaid debts, bills that he didn't take care of, and then he says it's the city's fault. The city's trying to stop me. It's the same thing that preachers do, or this particular preacher does in the case of this guy, Bishop Marvin. This is the same crap that this man, Umar Johnson's been doing, y'all, in a way. Let's get back to it.
And then you said the city is against you. Then you said, we need to acquire more money. So you want to go get another loan. And then your lawyer had to fight 500.
Same thing that Umar Johnson does. He demands to get more money, hit the Cash App, except this preacher, this jack-a-leg preacher, he's able to go and require a loan that was way more than he should have done. Let's continue.
Title issues. And then you say March of 2026. Now here's the dumb part. You said that you're going to try to open up the church in March 2026, and then you'll get to housing. Pastor, that was foolish. Leaders, I need you to hear me.
So what's going on right here, everybody, is that he's saying that what he should have done to get more confidence from the people in the community is that he should have first focused on building affordable housing for people that are in his congregation that may be living on a fixed income. He got mad at that woman for only giving him $1,200, $235. She says she was willing to come up with another $800 to make it. He says, but that's not what I told you, right? So this brother right here, I think, who is a pastor as well, is saying that, hey, he should have started with housing first in the community, because he could have gained trust from the community by building affordable housing. And therefore, he would have shown the people that he was about the people, not just himself or his vanity project being a new church, right? And therefore, when it came to raising money to build this new church, it would have worked in his favor, because people would have first saw that he was about the people by giving them housing first, a housing project, because I guess this is something he talked about but didn't do. Sounds like Umar Johnson, y'all. What do y'all think? Okay, right? Something that he didn't do the first time, right? And this brother's going to say if he would have did that, that would have put him in a good space with the city, right? That where this could have opened up other avenues for people to give him money because they see the good works that he was doing. But no, instead of him being a good shepherd over his flock as a preacher, he was more concerned about his vanity project, which is build me my church. I need 2,000. I don't need no 1,200. I told y'all to give me that 2,000. That's what we're talking about with these black preachers. Let's continue.
It was not time to build. And if he wanted to do anything, he should have started with the housing. If he would have started with the housing, it would have caused him to get a relationship with his community, a good one.
You hear?
If he did affordable housing, which I don't believe he would have done. I don't believe
he
would have done affordable housing
in Detroit.
He's just an arrogant man. We're going to get to that. So he's one who has scattered his sheep. So if he would have done the housing, it would have generated income. You would not have had to borrow $500,000. You would have had $500,000 there in order to get something done. Then after you have created that relationship with the community, they know you to be a pastor that didn't just build a vanity project for yourself and your church. You decided as a church to create affordable housing for the Detroit area.
Did you hear what he just said? I basically paraphrased it earlier, but I wanted you to hear what the pastor here had to say fully, breaking it down and exposing him about how this could have helped him in the city of Detroit, in a community. When you first give to the people, help the people would be more willing to help you with your project if you would help them. But he didn't do that, and he went way over his head, according to this brother here that you hear talking.
The city would have in turn looked at you as a real person of love and support for the city. And then by the time you wanted to build your edifice, there would have been souls who already knew you cared. There would have been souls who would have already understood your heart towards the city.
Right. I tell the truth.
Lord have mercy. Someone has said that man lied to his people the whole time to pocket that money and kept lying and keeping the money. These pastors, a lot of them, especially in the black church, are driven by greed.
So what he's reading right now, everybody, as we get near the end of this podcast, he's literally reading the comments that people put out there about how they felt about Pastor Marvin Winans and how he talked to that young lady. I didn't like the way he talked to her. I thought it was downright despicable. Let's get back to this. Let's listen to what he's saying here. Listen to the comment section now.
That money and kept lying and keeping the money. These pastors, a lot of them, especially in the black church, are driven by greed and money. And that's sad what has happened. Tens of millions of dollars thrown at a vanity project to house a group of people, to facilitate a group of people that you can't draw. Because for one, you don't hear God, your message is dated, you're not effective in ministry, you're not able to communicate in a sense where people know God is speaking, and it's just happened over and over and over again.
Woo! Over and over and over again. This is I hate to say it, this has been very indicative of a lot of your black churches. I'm not saying all. I'm certainly sure that there are churches out there, black churches, black pastors that are doing all the right things, but you don't hear about those churches because they're not big, they're not mega, they're not pulling in the numbers or the popularity like these other churches. But I think it's a damn shame what this man has done in terms of how he has mishandled money in the community. The brother was breaking down some of his shady dealings and how he talked to Miss McCoy. Of course, she's forgiving of how he talked to her. I mean, black people, we are forgiving people, especially when it comes to dealing with religious men and women. We'll be more forgiving with them than we are our own people. I just don't like it, everybody. I don't like the way he talked to this woman, the way he got down. Mrs. McCoy, I'm going to put her back up here. Once again, she said that he apologized to her after the service, but you know he did that because he had to save face because of the fact that the shit went viral and people in the church probably were like, whoa, look what he said to her. And of course, she's now saying, okay, this is what I don't like about it. She blamed herself instead of looking at how the pastor really talked to her in a disrespectful way. He didn't talk to her in a, what do we call it, a godly way. He talked to her like she wasn't even a member of his church. Well, I told you. He didn't even have the decency, I'm going to say this again before I end this video, to say, thank you for what you were able to give me. And when the sister said, I'm going to give you another 800 when I can come up with it, he couldn't say, okay, thank you, sister. Do what you can when you can. He simply said, That's not what I asked you. It's a damn shame, everybody. It's a damn shame. This is why black men in particular, black people in general, and even young black people, in some cases, have pulled away from the church these days because of this sort of ridiculous treatment that you get. With that said, everybody, this is the information man. Y'all take care. Let's get out of here. Peace. Peace, everybody. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and share the video. Yeah. Y'all take care.
Tell the truth.